here. Sorry, totally off topic. I am the owner and creator of everything you find at CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. And we do all kinds of fun things here. I am waiting for TikTok and for YouTube to let everybody know that I am live. Once I can see some people coming in, I will finish with the intro and what we are doing today and what we do here at CarolJo's. So if you come in, if you can share and like, that would be great. I forgot to grab my backup account tablet for TikTok. So I'm going to grab that here. All right. I'm going to put that on here so that I can see comments. Whoops. I'm hitting the wrong thing. I want to go to my profile. There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. There we go. It came up. Yay. All right. I am going to share it out. So if we can share it out to 10 people, and if we can do the likes up to 10,000, we'll be doing giveaways. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but the reason why I say that is I will not be live for the full hour today. This tutorial won't take the full hour, and we do have homecoming, and I need to get some things done before that. Hi, Meg. So just letting you all know, we will not be the full hour. Let's see if we can get more in here. So what we do at CarolJo's is that we do tutorials twice a week, which today is a tutorial. And then twice a week we have chats. And then throughout the week we have different types of sales. Last night I showed you what we're making today so that you guys, or not last night, yesterday during the day, so that you guys could potentially buy the beads that are needed for it. We are making bookmark with the silicone beads today. This is a very, very simple project that you can create, and it's very quick to make them. The reason why I'm saying that is that if you're someone that sells accessories or, jewelries and accessories, this is something that you can make to fill up your displays. That's something that's really quick and inexpensive to make. For me, if you bought these bookmarks are $1.15 each. You get a bag of 5 of the 15 millimeter round solids for $1, or you can do prints for $2.75. The lentils, you get 10 in a bag for $2, so you can make up a lot of them. Hi, Cute Preppy Lifestyle. And that's why I wanted to let you know, this is a very inexpensive way to fill up your booth, or it is a very inexpensive way to create gifts for the Christmas time for all those readers out there. So what you will need is that you're going to, and I just grabbed some silicone beads. These are the 15 millimeter round, or you can do 15 millimeter prints. And then you need lentil beads. So you need one of the 15 millimeters, 2 lentils. You will also need, hi Geraldine, thank you for the follow. I can't read the name because it's on my shirt. But you'll need cord. I'm going to use 1.5 millimeter cord, but I will explain. Sometimes you're going to need a 0.8, or you will need a 1 millimeter cord. And I'll explain why in just a moment. So I'm going to grab, thanks Robin for the headbands. I'm going to grab one of the bookmarks that we have available. Yay! So here you see, this is the bookmark, and right here there is the hole. This hole, if it is large like this one, you can use a 1.5 millimeter cord through it. And I'm just using nylon cord. If you have a bookmark, thank you for the heartbeat, Melissa, that has a smaller hole at the top, like this one here. See how that hole is smaller? The 1.5 won't go through that, so I will need to use like a 1 or a 0.8 millimeter. I actually do not have either one in stock, so I have to stay and use the ones that use the 1.5. So let me find, I don't know if I want to do another dolphin because I've already done one of the dolphins. Let me see what else I have here for these that I could do that with. Let's see. I can't see the hole on this one through the bags. Yep, I can use that one. Let me see what else one I can use. Not that one. Okay, I'm going to use 2 of these silvers to do our examples today. I'll make 2. Oh, I got to change the number too because I took them out of the stock. All right. All right, there we go. So I am going to use this one here to do our examples with. Hi, Emerson. Now, for tools, what you're going to need. A loop turner works handy dandy with this project. A flame of some sort. I've got my butane torch, a pair of scissors, and I will be using, this is actually a bead reamer, but an owl will do the same thing. I just don't have 2 of it because I use my bead reamer just like I would use the owl. Okay? And did I say scissors? We need scissors. So those are just the things that you need. I do have a bead mat to keep my beads from flying around. I am going to point you guys down. We are going to be making bookmarks with silicone beads like this. We have 2 examples here, and we're going to show you how to make them. So I'm going to point you guys down. Thanks, Robin, for the finger heart. There. I think you guys can see. There you go. You guys are on my table here. First thing I need to do is pick out my beads because that's going to tell me what color of cord I'm going to use. Thank you for the gift. What is this brown? This thing right here. This one for me is a bead reamer. This is my bead reamer. You can do owls instead. I do not have bead reamer as a tool, but I use it just like I would an owl. I think I am going to do shades of purple here. Let me see. Or do I want? Ooh. Okay, I wish I had a purple bead and I had 2 of those. I do have 2 of those. Hold on. I'm going to go grab my extra beads that may not be the beads that I have in stock, but I think purple will look really cool with that other bead that I just selected. So hold on. There's some. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. I got to go grab them. They're downstairs. I'll be right back, everybody. Like away. Let's get to 10K. All right, I'm back. I just had to go get my beads where I was sitting at to do that. Okay. I want a darker purple. Nope, not that one. I want a dark grape purple. There it is. That's what I want. So with this one, I could go with either the light or the dark. So I could go with white or black cord. I think I'm going to go with white. You don't need much cord for this project. Hi, Murda. It's AWL is how it's spelled. And it is, I'll show you what you use it for when we're doing it. It helps you guide where your knots should go. I'm just going to cut off probably, let's see how much this is, just so you guys have an idea. This is 9 inches of cord. I would say anywhere from 9 to 12 inches. Pick up your bead or your bookmark. Put this through that hole so that you double it over. Move that out of the way. Thank you, Emerson. And while I have you guys down, I don't always see the comments on YouTube as easily. I'm going to put my 3 beads on my bead reamer like that, just the order that I want them in. I am going to go through both cords here. So I'm going to put those in that little loop part right here of my loop turner. Close this shut. And then put your fingers on the outside of the beads and pull the loop turner through so that your cords come through. Leave a little bit of space, at least a little bit. So I want to show you here. I left a little bit more in this one, and this one does do a movement. This one I didn't leave as much. Yes, it moves, but do you see the difference? So it's all about, you do have to leave enough that it will move. Don't get it so tight, but you get to decide how much you want to show of that. Here with this black, it accentuates it. So I was okay having it bigger. I wasn't so sure on this one if I wanted more white. This one, I think I actually do want a little bit more white, so I'm going to move it down a little bit. Take your finger, wrap those both cords around your finger, pull it off your finger, and you have this hole over the top so you can go through the hole. And we're just creating a knot, but this is where the owl comes into place, or for me, the bead reamer. I stick it in that knot that I'm creating and down to the beads. And that allows me to get my knot close to those beads. That is what the owl is doing. If you just put it in there and push it down to that. If you don't use an owl, your knot could end up down here. And then you're going to have a lot of space up here. So you just need something that's very thin that can go into there. You can use a darning needle if you have it. This just is bigger that you can just go in there and do that. So now we've got our knot on that one. And if you notice in our example, our cord, we only have one coming down, so it's not so thick. You could actually leave both of them and tie a knot and have it have 2 on the bottom. You could cut off up here. Whatever you would like to do. I just did 1 for these examples because it's just a little bit thinner. This example here, I will do 1 on each side. They're not going to be perfect at the same spot. And that's why I don't like to do 2, is if I can't get them at the same spot, I don't like it. So I might not do that. I know that sounds really weird. I have to be asymmetrical. I can't have anything off. So you're just going to put another knot down at the bottom. My chances of getting the knot. This is where I'm like, I'll try it, everybody. If I don't like it, I'm going to cut it off, okay? And it's just because they have to be equal or I won't like it. And that's just who I am. So we're just putting a knot at the bottom of the cord. Excuse me. Just have a tickle in my throat all of a sudden. Let's do it around my finger and get that through. And then come down. Having that one there, it keeps getting into my way. There we go. I'm going to grab my owl or my bead reamer, because that's what I'm using here. See, they're a little bit off. They might be okay. I don't know. They're like a titch off. That would drive me nuts. Would it drive the rest of you nuts, or is it just me? I'll leave it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about after this. I cut off the little ends. I take my torch burner. Whoops, he's got a little bit here. I don't want that tuft there. Let's get you off of there, Mr. Tuffy. And we're just going to singe the ends of that cord, just so it doesn't unravel. You can put a tassel on the end if you would like. There you go. Whoops, I wanted it this way. There we go. I wanted that white at the top. So you can do it however you want. It's killing me. But that is how simple these are to make. And like Geraldine said in the comment over here on TikTok, you could do a tassel on the end. If you did a tassel on the end, the tassel will loop around and you will tie knots up here and hide the knots. I have one more here that we're going to use. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do a print this time. What about, not yellow. Nope, they're too different. So we have one bead with that skull face on it. I don't want to do two purples. Ooh, should we do a glow in the dark one? This is a luminous glow in the dark bead. We can do that. So along with, we can use our ice crystal. I think that'll be cool. With these light colors, once again, I'll use white. I don't measure. I just cut off a bunch. I measured the last one so that you guys could have an idea. Go through the hole with your cord. Bring it down so it's half and half. Like so. Put our 3 beads on the loop turner. Down at the end, put your loop turner in that hook part of your, or put the cord in the hook part of your loop turner. And pull that through. Pull that down just a little bit. Tie a knot. I'll do a third one here and I will go grab some tassels and we'll see what we can do about a tassel one. And I'll show you what my thoughts are on the tassel. Grab. He's not going through all the way. Hold on. My knot came undone when I went to grab my loop turner. There we go. Grabbing, not the loop turner, my bead reamer. I'm going to pull. And I literally, if you notice, I've got the awl down at the bottom of where that knot starts. And I'm pushing down to the bead. I'm not pushing my beads all the way down. I want some wiggle in there. Pull that down and then let me see. Yep, they must have. Yep, I got out of it accidentally here. Whoops. I was on my backup account testing that for you. And yep, they must have changed that. Then we'll get that in there. There's my knot. I am going to put a knot on one side and I will cut one off. So I'm going to take the longer one of the two and put a knot in there. And I'm going to look to see where do I want my knot. I think I want it right there. So I take my owl or my bead reamer, just put it in there. So, Robin, does that make sense then what the owl is about? I'll cut off the end of the long one because I got my knot in there. And then up here, I'm going to cut off this one. So I just have one. It's A-W-L is how it's spelled. It does sound like owl, but it's an awl. And it is a thin piece of there, and that's where I use it to get my knots in cord where I want it to go. Okay. Fire. Singe the end of that cord. I'll move that one out of the way. Do you see how I moved this one out of the way? Because I got to get this one. I don't want to singe that cord, so I'm going to do it from this side. And singe that one. And then this one will be a glow in the dark. I'm going to go grab my light, and then I'm going to grab some tassels while I'm up too. So we'll do a third one. All right. See if it'll glow in the dark here. There, do you see it glowing a different color? You see where it's like kind of that green on the bottom side? It shows up a lot better on YouTube than it does here. But that is, now we got a glow in the dark keychain. All right, so that's the second one. Now we're gonna do a third one here. We'll do one with a tassel, everybody. Let's see what we got for beads. Do I have a white one? No, I don't. Ooh. That. Trying to see the pinks. That pink or this pink. I have two pinks. Okay, everybody. Pink 1 or pink 2. Put it in the comments which one you think I should use for the tassel. 1 or 2. The darker pink. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're going to use the black cord this time. Cut some off. I'm going to make this one longer than we did before. A bead reamer is used to, if you feel an awl is just, it's like up here where it's just a smooth metal. A bead reamer has little lines in it. A bead reamer is actually used to make holes bigger. So you will put the bead in the center of the bead like this, in there, and then you turn it around and it will make the hole bigger. I am making bookmarkers. So we're going to go a little bit bigger here on this one. There we go. All right, I need to get a bookmarker again. Got to get the one that has the right size hole for me. This one. I do need to change the number so we can make sure we're at the right number. Okay. That one, what I just showed, was a glow-in-the-dark one. Now we're going to do one with Geraldine's thought of using a tassel. So this one, you're going to put this through. Halfway on each side. The beads on the bead loop turner. Go into the hook part, close it up, push the beads down, just let them fall down, and then on each side, pull the loop turner through. Holy buckets. This is being stubborn and not wanting to go through that print bead. There we go. There we go. Got it. Ooh. Down just a little bit because I don't want that close. There is our print bead with the blacks. Now, one of the cords you will put, oh, hold on. I want to do something different. Hold on. I don't want to put that one on both sides. I just want to put this one on one side for right now. I forgot that step. So I'm going to put this on one. And then put on your tassel. Now, with your loop turner, go the opposite way that you want to go. I want this to come back up. So I'm going through my bead from the top to the bottom so I can have this piece of cord go through this bead, bring it up, bring up all there. So now my two pieces of cord are right here. This time, because I'm going to tie a knot a different way, I am going to use my knot grippers. So I do need to, and this is 2mm. I grabbed 2mm instead of 1.5mm cord. It went through that there. That was my biggest thing of why I was using smaller cord. So let me get a knot on both sides of my cord here. All right, now get what you want for your space up here. If you don't want it as much, push those up a little bit. Pull. You want to have, so you don't have cord here between your tassel and that lentil, so you want to pull that up a little bit. Now, tie a knot and pull it. Yep. And then tie a second knot. And this is where I don't have enough strength in my arm or my hands anymore. So I'm going to put that on the loop turner and put this one on the loop turner. I should have had some extra longer cord, but hey, we're going to get this to do it. And then pull very tightly to get that knot. My knot is not going in my beads like I want it to. I want the 1.5, so I'm going to cut this apart for just a second, everybody. I want 1.5, not 2. I want to hide my knot in a bead. I'm just not being able to do it. So this is what we call experimenting and, you know, doing what we need to do to create. When we have our weekly quotes and we talk about creativity and experimenting, this is what we're doing. This is the 1.5. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. There we go. Go through it. We're going to have it do it again here. We're going to go through the center of that. Trial and error is correct. Bring these two together. Put this on the loop turner. We're going to put 2 of the beads on both cords. So go down to the end, put that through there, put 2 beads on. There we go. Yep, it's how we work. Get you down. Now we'll get you down. Wow. Okay, now on one side of the cord, one piece of the cord, not both, you're going to put the last of the lentil on. Bring it up. We will take our tassel, put it through. We're going to go through that lentil that we put on just the one side, top to bottom, so that we can secure our tassel. Bring that up. And then we're going to work on getting everything where we want it. I don't want this big gap here, so I am going to pull on my cord to get it to go up. Bring it up, pull on the cord. I'm going to see if I can show it to you guys. My hands are probably going to be in the way. There we go. There. There we go. We got everything where I want it. I have a little bit of room up here. Now we're going to tie knots on the end because I'm going to use my loop turners. We're really close on the likes, everybody, to do a giveaway. One, two. I just do like go through my knot twice on the end to create my knot that will hold onto the loop turner. If you only do one, the slot is big enough, it doesn't always work. So we are going to tie a knot and get it really down in there. I can usually get that first one tight enough. It's the second one that I don't have the strength to get it tight enough, to get it small enough to go into the hole. So we're going to do the second knot, wrap it around my loop turn or my knot grippers. Sorry, I'm getting all the names of everything mixed up today. And then we're going to pull this tight, and you're going to feel it slipping there. And sometimes you'll hear a little pop. Okay. Now I'm going to cut my ends off of that cord, that knot off the cord. I am going to come through that printed bead or solid, whatever one you decide, but here we've got printed. You're going to go down, you're going to grab a cord and bring it up through that. There we go. And what you can do is you can pull, and when you pull, sometimes you will be able to hide your knot. He's been a stubborn knot, not wanting to hide very well. Okay, we're going to do this again with our other cord. You could do them both at the same time. I just didn't think that through when I was doing the other one. Come on, give me my hole. Whoops. I pushed that lentil way up. I'll get it down in a moment. I'll show you what I did to the poor lentil on top here in a second. Let's get this cord through. Whoop, darn it. It gave me room to get in there though when what I did. I went to move him out of the way and he went really out of the way. We've got 4 cords in there, and that's why it's being really hard to get this through. There we go. There we go. It hid. I pushed my lentil up over, so I want to push that back down. It needs to go down. There we go. We got him to go down. Now our lentil's back where he should be. That was pretty funny. I've never pushed so hard. We'll do the 10K giveaway in just a moment here as soon as we finish this up. We are going to move our 2 beads out of the way, and we're going to get in really as close as we can to our beads and cut off those ends. We are going to take our torch, and we are going to singe, oop, not my finger. I almost got my finger there. There we go. And then push this down in there. I'm going to use this to push him down. There we go. Trying to get this to turn around. There we go. That is with, instead of having those cords dangle down, we're using what Geraldine said, and we put a tassel on there. So that is our 3rd example. We did them all a little bit different. Let me bring everybody up for a moment. Hi, Candy. Yes, those are Maria. Yes. We're using silicone beads. We use a tassel on one. So yeah, I'll bring it up here and show you guys up. These were the 3 that we created today. This one. So you got the purple with this isn't the icy one. This is a pearly one that has just a little bit of a pink purple hue to it for that lentil. We have the ice crystal lentil with the glow in the dark bead. Then we had that print bead that we just had recently with the skulls and with black lentils and with a tassel. So that is what we did. Now, over here on TikTok, we did get to our 10K giveaway, or a 10K, so that means we get to do a giveaway. So let me pick a color. I got to spell it right. There we go. All right. It's 2 words to make up this color. 2 words, everybody. I'm just picking up while you guys are guessing, and someone got it. The reason why I'm picking up is I need to finish invoicing, and I got to get some stuff done for tomorrow's live. But I also have homecoming, and I got 2 orders to package to mail out. Murda, you will get $5 off of your invoice. So congratulations. And then someone else, Rainbow, got it after. The color was Hunter Green. We went Hunter Green today. So Murda, you'll get $5 off. So I'll add that to your invoice because I've already sent you yours. And then you will see that it'll be updated and I'll send that out to you. Okay? All right. I know we're not going the full hour right now. I just have to get going to get those. I have to get the packages done because I'm running to the post office before it's parade time. I know it's not game time. It is parade time. And Buttercup's class walks together in the parade. So I have to go and cheer her on. So that's why I'm like, I gotta go. It's Buttercup time. That's also why I did this tutorial, because I knew it would be a shorter tutorial than doing our silicone sale. That's why I flip-flopped them. I normally try not to do that, but it was an exception this week. So everybody have a great rest of your day. I will not be live tonight. Come see me at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and that is Central Time, where we will have our bead sale, and that will include cubic zirconias, it will include the gorgonias, and some glass triangles. So that is what we got on deck for tomorrow. So we'll see you at 11 tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Bye.